Now that the PS4 has been on the market for nearly 4 years, it's amassed a gigantic library of games and a significant portion of them can be bought for an extremely cheap price. In this video, we'll be taking a look at 10 awesome PS4 games under $20. These prices were taken from Amazon, and keep in mind prices do fluctuate all the time, so if you're watching this video at a later date, things may not be the same. With that being said, let's get right into this. The Last of Us Remastered, available for $17. While Naughty Dog is the best known for Uncharted, arguably their best game is The Last of Us, which was originally released on the PlayStation 3. It was however remastered on the PS4 with better visuals, a higher frame rate, and the DLC Left Behind included. The Last of Us is a phenomenal game with superb storytelling, great gameplay, and even a decent multiplayer mode. Now for $17, it's well worth the purchase.
Much further now.
Bloodborne, available for $17. Many considered Bloodborne to be the first true system seller for the PlayStation 4, and with good reason. It's a Souls-like game developed by From Software, and this is arguably their best game. It's got a terrific medieval setting with great visuals and excellent gameplay. If you own a PS4 and haven't given Bloodborne a shot, you're doing the console a disservice, and for $17, it's a bargain. Deus Ex Mankind Divided for $18. Deus Ex Human Revolution was a great RPG released last generation, and last year we got the follow-up in Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and while the game does have its issues, it's a great RPG. The gameplay was built upon from Human Revolution, giving the player much more versatility and many more options, and the story is as engaging as ever, albeit it ended a bit abruptly. Still, if you want a quality action RPG for $18, Mankind Divided fits that bill.
Every floor of their towering complex is packed with armed militia and filled with high-end security. But its makeshift construction provides me with plenty of options. Going in full force and guns blazing may result in casualties, but if I want a strong-arm Rooker into surrendering, it makes sense to use force. Engaging them with modified firearms.
Tales from the Borderlands, available for $13. On the surface, a Telltale game crossed with Borderlands sounds like the most ridiculous idea. However, Tales from the Borderlands knocked it out of the park. From the engaging characters, witty humor, it's all on point and one of Telltale's best games they've put out. Now you can get the physical version for just $13, and if you're a fan of these styles of games, it's very worth it.
This latest scam was our biggest yet. The one that would set us up for life.
You're the one that'll close the deal by playing whatever role you need to.
This place is a garbage land of sand and sadness.
You came to Pandora, now you get to live like we do.
We got a couple Hyperion warmongers, gentlemen.
The bot, prime it.
Time to clock in.
Uncharted The Nathan Drake Collection, available for $19.99. When you talk about PlayStation now, the one franchise that immediately comes to mind is Uncharted. It's Naughty Dog's most iconic creation, and for good reason. Uncharted The Nathan Drake Collection bundles the 3 Uncharted games released on the PS3 running at 1080p and 60 FPS. The games are still very good, even with the first game showing its age. However, Uncharted 2 and 3 are still excellent experiences. Now you can get the trilogy for just $19.99, and that's a great gateway into the franchise. Until Dawn for $19. Until Dawn was probably the most surprisingly good PlayStation 4 exclusive so far. It's in the tone of a cheesy 80s horror movie, and that shines through. The characters are the star of Until Dawn and offer an extremely engaging experience. The game is short, but if you like games such as Heavy Rain or the Telltale titles, Until Dawn will be right up your alley, and for just $19, it's a solid purchase.
No.
7.
Please, no.
Sam.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth for $12. Before 2016, Digimon games were few and far between stateside. That began to change with the release of Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, a very good traditional JRPG. Comparisons will obviously be drawn to Pokemon, but this is a more contained and mature experience. It should be mentioned that this was originally designed as a Vita game, so technically it's not anything to write home about, but now for $12, if you're a fan of the series, it's a great buy. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition for $19.99. Many considered Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor to be the first excellent game of the current generation, excluding remasters. It's an open-world action-adventure game with great gameplay, reminiscent of something such as Batman Arkham, being very responsive and fluid. The world is expansive but has its limitations. Don't think of something as grandiose as The Witcher 3, but it's definitely got its fair share of content, and for $19.99, the Game of the Year Edition, which includes all of the DLC, is an excellent price.
Curse. To cheat death. But perhaps the most powerful Wraith's skill is the ability to enter the minds of his enemies, to both manipulate and terrify. Outnumbered and targeted by all, Talion and Celebrimbor must work in unison to learn of their true potential and bring to justice those that have taken everything from them.
A curse has bound us together.
Then how do we break this curse?
We find the one who cast it on.
Wolfenstein The Old One for $19. Great single-player first-person shooters are few and far between, but Wolfenstein The Old One definitely is one. It's got great gameplay, an atmospheric world, and a fantastic story. And this isn't your typical 4 to 6 hour FPS campaign. It's a solid 12 hours, and it should be with no multiplayer component. For $19, this is a great game that went a bit under the radar.
As I can.
Jesus Christ!
Look at that. It's raining Nazis.
Finally, Ratchet Clank for $19.99. Ratchet Clank was one of the most iconic franchises on the PS2. It had an impact on the PS3 also, but for a while we hadn't seen a traditional game in the franchise. That changed when Insomniac released Ratchet Clank in 2016, and while it's not a brand new game, rather it's the first game built ground up for the PS4. This isn't your typical HD remaster, and that's evident when you look at the game. It looks terrific and it plays as great as ever, with zany weapons and great platforming. Whether you've been a long-time fan of the franchise or this is your first game, it's well worth it for $19.99.
Beginner's Guide to Quantum Burst Engines.
Just throw that anywhere. I have it bookmarked.
What's this? Fun with singularities and other cataclysmic events.
That's really more for educational purposes. It is always good to meet a fellow academic.
All right, Grim. Coast is clear. Can you open up?
Ratchet, what in Sony's name just exploded?
Sorry about that, Grim. Listen, get my tools ready. I just found something in the desert I need to look at. Interesting.
So that wraps up 10 terrific PS4 games for under $20. What do you think? Are you going to check out any of these titles? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.